Good night of Shabbos, everyone. Parshas B'shalach, Shabbos Shira. Kodesh Baruch Hu makes an incredible decision at the beginning of the parasha to take us the long route instead of the short route, because he's petrified. Ki Amar Elokim pen Yinachim, he's worried that we're going to change our minds. B'ros Melchama, when we see a war, V'shavah Mitzrayim, and we're going to run back to Egypt. It's a great accusation that Kodesh Baruch Hu is leveling against the Jewish people. Because at the end of the day, we're characterized as people with incredible faith. I remember the kindness of your youth. Your incredible love that you had for me. You walked after me in the desert, Eretz in a land that wasn't fertile. We were willing to follow him. We left Mitzrayim not knowing where we were going, what we were going to eat, where we were going to sleep. And we said, no problem. We have faith in our Kodesh Baruch Hu. We walked after him. What was he so worried about? And the truth is that this became tested right away. 7 days after we left, we actually were faced with a Milchama. We had Mitzrayim on our tails that were going to destroy us. And in fact, how did we react to Mitzrayim? In fact, Vayomru al Moshe, Ami Blia and Kvarim b'Mitzrayim. But there's no burial places in Egypt. They're going to take us out here so we could be buried out in the desert. But you brought us to the cemetery, said we should be killed in the cemetery. Let's go back to Mitzrayim. So Kodesh Baruch Hu knew Klal Yisrael very well. But if he knew us very well, then what difference did it make which way he took us? We were going to react this way, whether he took us the long way, whether he took us the short way. What did a Kodesh Baruch Hu know about us that we could have persevered in the desert, but not persevered through war? Because we definitely had Emunah B'tachon. But we had Emunah B'tachon that was strong enough to believe that we were going to be taken care of. Strong enough to believe that we were going to be coddled, and that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was going to take care of all of our needs. He was going to make sure that the sun wasn't going to be too strong for us, and that the scorpions and the snakes weren't going to destroy us, that our clothes weren't going to wear out. We trusted in him. We trusted that we were eventually going to have food. We trusted we were going to have water. We trusted that all of this was going to happen. But what we didn't trust, the level that we didn't get to, was the ability to be able to participate. Was that sense that we could take responsibility for this. And that we're part of the solution. That we're part of the Geula. We wanted everything handed to us on a silver platter. We wanted everything given to us. But then we didn't necessarily want to have to deserve it or work for it. And that's what Kodesh Baruch Hu understood. To walk after him in the desert, Eretz lo zerua. The love and the kindness of your youth. God understood that we had that. But to be able to engage in war, to be able to engage in the milchama of life, that we weren't ready to do. And that's why we needed preparation and training, why we needed those 2 to then 40 years in the desert. Because Eretz Yisrael is a place where it's not just handed to us on a silver platter. We have to work for it. It's nikna b'yisurin. And there were things that we had to work for. We had to take responsibility for things. For Torah, for Elam Abba, we had to work for these things. And that's why Kodesh Baruch Hu knew that they weren't ready to take the short way. They needed time to be able to realize that, you know what, you're a player here. For so many of us, we look towards the Rebbeinu Shalom to take care of us. And we're justified. He's promised he'll take care of us. But there is a bris, there is a covenant, there's a deal. There's responsibility that we have to take. And that if we want Yeshuas, then we have to be willing to participate in the milchama. We have to be willing to fight for it. We have to be willing to be Meiser Nefesh for it. We have to be willing to stretch ourselves beyond our boundaries. It's amazing to me. Just came back from Poland. Poland, we were all over the place, 6 countries. We went to an enormous amount of kfarim. And the kfarim, at every kever, I tried to point out the kayach of that particular giant, of that particular rav, of that particular gadol, that is something that we could have also. And that every single one of them acquired what they acquired and became who they came. From the Gra to Reb Chaim to the Netziv to the Shach to the Chassam Sofer. Because they were active participants. They weren't just waiting for Kodesh Baruch Hu to give it to them on a silver platter. They weren't born with spiritual silver spoons in their mouths. But they engaged in the milchama. They participated. They took responsibility. They became part of the solution. And they were able to accomplish awesomeness. That's the road to awesomeness. It's the long road. It's the difficult road. But it's the road where we learn that we are participants in this. Take responsibility for your life. And you'll see amazing Yeshuos. You'll see amazing nachas. And you'll see amazing brachas. Have a beautiful, awesome, amazing Shabbos.